Alright, starting with the terraces. Looks like my echinacea might be about to bloom. This little blueberries seems like it's getting established. The tomatoes here are getting really close. The ones back here, and I have not had time to be in the garden, and it definitely looks like it. Everything's a little bit wild and woolly. These are all black plum on this terrace, and these don't look like they're super huge. I am getting some onions that are sizing up. I think most of these may have either split or gone to seed. I just went ahead and cut off most of them anyway. Nasturtium. Some cauliflower that went to seed, in case you're wondering what a cauliflower going to seed looks like. It was a very small head, and I kept thinking, oh, I'll get it and throw it in something, and then I didn't. It just went to seed. That's been the case for a lot of things this year. This blueberry, it has one berry on it. I don't know that it's particularly happy there, but it is putting on new growth, so I probably need to put some acidifier on there. Kale is finally coming back from the groundhog attacks, the repeated, relentless, daily, multiple times a day groundhog attacks. I have gradually barricaded my yard. I may have finally gotten there, we'll see. But yeah, artichokes and sage growing pretty nicely, though that corner's a little bit crowded now. Thyme, oregano, I've got a borage. This little corner is definitely too crowded, but you know, I guess that's what I do. Need to move some things. The chives seem to be happy. The yarrow blooming away. I need to deadhead that. Another kale that's come back. This, I believe, is a pumpkin that I am going to have to come back and make sure it gets properly pollinated, since I have female flower and some male flowers. So I'm going to take care of that. And then this row of tomatoes, it's a forest of tomatoes. This line would be Roma, and there might be a couple San Marzanos. And then in the indeterminates, it's either black currant or zebra, and a couple of black cherries. So I can't even listen, blocking my way in. It's just up there sneaking in. Oh, and mustards that have gone over. And sort of really overstuffed this. It's like I bet on a lot of failure, and then I have less failure than I think I will, and then things end up really overcrowded. One day I'll learn not to do that. But that is a butterbush squash, I believe. So, there's some alyssum down there that might get going. Black cherry, and this one, can't remember which way around it was. One of them looked like it was almost dead, and so I put in a second one thinking that it was dead, and then they both took off and recovered. From transplant shock, and then also whatever was happening there. So now I need to pull one of these up and move it, and I'm not sure. Maybe that one. Even though this one's kind of sticking farther out, but it looks healthier, so. And a lot of my indeterminate tomatoes split off early, and were doing crazy things, so I think they're, for the most part, like this one, I think was one that split 3 ways, and I just picked one, which I don't think is quite what you're supposed to do, but it is putting on a ton of fruit on its little tiny body, so I'm going to say it's not super happy to be doing that, but I'll probably replace it with one of the ones I have in the greenhouse. But you can see a lot of my onions are sizing up here. Some of them have a long way to go. We've had just wild weather, and I have been inconsistent at best at maintaining everything this year. Just to show you this side of the forest, the tomato forest, I do almost have some fruits. Look at that. They're getting there. Looks like those might even start to color up soon. And I did gamble a little bit. I feel like I put these out a little bit too early. I know I did. The knowledge around here is that you're supposed to put them out after Mother's Day. And I'm going to say I might have waited till May 1st, but I don't think I did. I'll have to go back and look. Because our last frost day was April 15th, and we had just had a frost, but then that was sort of a fluke. It had been crazy warm. We actually had a very mild winter except for 2 deep swings, basically, memory serves. And so I was like, well, the soil is probably pretty warm. And if I lose some, I have more. It's fine. And I think it paid off. Which a lot of times I do that, and then I'm like, damn it, why did I do that? Not this year. Got lucky. And that was a pepper that I put out that clearly was yummy and really happy. That is also a black cherry. And that is a black cherry. And I probably won't know which ones these are until they start fruiting, but so it goes. I did just put out some basil yesterday and marigolds, some companions. There's a borage over there. Oh, and let's talk about the rest of them. Let's get it through before somebody decides to rush another car. That is an eggplant. That looks like it's starting to come back. Little transplant shock there. I had 2 black hollyhocks. I don't see the other one, so I don't know if it's buried in there or not, but maybe we'll get there. Borage, artichoke. I really need to cut back this evening primrose as well. All the patch up front came from this, and it's it's a beast. I mean, it's great for the pollinators. Blooms all summer. Does start to get a little raggedy a little bit later on, but it's it fills the space pretty fast. It's aggressive, so I'm quite happy here. Clearly, all my peppers. I think I've got all peppers in the ground that I'm going to, unless I need to replace it with one that's in the greenhouse. These are poblanos. I think that is a purple pepper, purple bell pepper, and that's a poblano because I remember after I planted them, I was like, dang it, why'd I do that? Eggplant. Just put in a ground cherry there. I did put in some beans. This is once again me starting a bunch of things and then figuring out where to put them, even though I did a nice, fairly detailed garden plan, but I don't ever seem to want to do that when the time comes. I want to stick to what I've said I want to do. Another overcrowded corner here. Borage. Lots of borage happening. Rosemary plant back there getting swallowed up. This is a butternut. I made sure I have at least one fruit on. Hopefully it sticks. Oh, and these are, let's see. There's a baby mustard, probably going to seed. Ground cherry. I have some carrots here. The onions in this bed are pretty much all bolted. I probably need to just pull those up and quit wasting space. That's a basil hiding there under the borage that's dropping out in the walkway. Got a volunteer calendula. And in this bed, was supposed to be brassicas and still is in some part. The groundhog kept getting in and eating things. Should probably get it back in. I didn't, looks like. Snipping all the leaves off, so these probably should already be done for the most part, or close to it, but most of them were recovering from getting attacked. And they came back really strong, and so I should have taken them out, but I didn't. But anyway. Some burgundy bush beans. That's a cayenne pepper. Looks like maybe somebody knocked over. Let's see, this is a sugar baby watermelon here. And my dill, I've just been like relentlessly cutting off of it because I feel like every year I don't get enough, and so this year I cut them within an inch of their lives. And I believe you're supposed to take from the bottom, but these were starting to flower, so I just went ahead and took the top. So they don't look very pretty, but and that is a lemon drop. Eggplant. That was a Kajari melon that the groundhog came in whilst eating the cabbages that I should have already cut off. Snapped off, so I don't have that guy. That was actually growing away pretty good. Oh no, excuse me, that wasn't a Kajari, that was a Minnesota midget. And I do have a Charleston gray watermelon right there. As you can see, I think that is a pumpkin that is starting to take over the space completely. Now we'll come around this way. Another little, I think that's a lemon drop there. And, oh, this is a crookneck squash, I forgot. Here. I just started a couple of those. My family doesn't eat a whole lot. This little lavender, I should have put somewhere else. It's not very happy. I waited a long time to put it out and then picked the wrong spot. The parsley is getting swallowed up by whatever this monster is, but that's fine. It'll persist. Lots of beans. I do have a fair number of onions that were grown from seed interspersed in here, and they keep getting trampled and snipped off and pulled up, and I don't know if they're going to come to much. Like that one looks like it got knocked over, but that's okay. We'll do what we can do. I think that might be a Charleston gray as well. And the greens there, I think these guys are cauliflowers. And that, I think, is a Brussels sprout. I believe this is another pumpkin, a sugar baby pumpkin. You can see it's quite happy with its situation. It's growing in every direction there. And I think that's a cauliflower coming up in between. And that would be artichoke.